see, the left, they want your feelings to determine your action. I feel oppressed. I feel as if I'm marginalized. Completely irrelevant. We don't care. What do your values say? Well, my values say I might be tired, I might be low on sleep, might have had a long night last night. The hotel room next to me might have smelled funny and they made all these weird noises. But my value system is that I care about the country more than I care about getting 9 hours of perfect sleep. So I'm showing up and I'm going to present myself best to the country. That is about duty and obligation over self. And what I am talking about is the exact opposite of every mainstream cultural norm happening in the country right now. Every mainstream cultural norm is, well, it's my truth. I can do whatever I want with my life. And of course, you can do whatever you want, but ought you do whatever you can? And that is the most important question, because there really is a way that all of us should live. And the way we should live is to glorify God, to work diligently, to serve church and charity, and defend liberty and freedom. These are the things that we must prioritize in our life. And I encourage, here's some homework for every single one of you in the days that follow on your flights home. Write what you consider to be the core beliefs of your life. 4 to 5 things. Think deeply about it. Don't do it right now, but write down a reminder to do it. 4 or 5 things of what are your core values. I just listed mine. And by the way, Hillsdale College is very similar, and I saw them. I think it's amazing. What are the 4 to 5 core things that you want to accomplish in your life? For example, for me, I want to honor God in all that I do. I want to be a great husband, a great father. I want to serve this country. I want to try to continue to lead this movement and to speak truth and to never lie. Whatever those values are, the sooner you are able to write down those values, it does not matter then what you study, if you go to college or you don't go to college. Fit neatly within those core mission principles and values for the rest of your life. That simple practice and that simple exercise alone is one of the most important things you can do in your life to make sure that you have a proper course forward. Because I'm sure you know many people in your life that are depressed, that are anxious, young people that don't have direction. Because if you ask them, what are your core values? They'll say is to serve self. You want to know why we have the most depressed, alcohol-addicted, drug-addicted generation in history? Because we have a generation that only thinks about themselves all day long. They don't think about what they should do to serve others, to serve God, or to serve their country. You want to break the spell of depression and anxiety in this country? 99% of it can be broken when you tell a young person to stop thinking about yourself all the time and instead think about what you should do to help other people and to defend this country above yourself. Stop being a narcissist all the time and start acting with duty and obligation. I'll close with this and then we'll do some questions. It is very tempting for you to think like a victim as a conservative on campus. I'm outnumbered. I get graded terribly. Guess what? Opposition is part of life. You have a choice. You can complain about all the opposition that you receive, or you can embrace it and say, this is going to make me stronger. This is going to make me tougher. Every single one of you will become a stronger and tougher and more likely to succeed adult later and later in life because of the opposition that you experience. I want you to think about the other people on campus that scream like maniacs because you use the wrong pronoun. Are they going to be people that are going to be more likely to succeed? Because here's the issue. You could try to remove all the different sorts of triggers. Oh, your pronouns, or I don't like your Turning Point USA sign, or you're not allowed to have an event, or you're not allowed to table on campus. You can keep on trying to remove the triggering type of elements. But eventually in life, you're going to have to face what you hate the most. And you as a Turning Point USA leader, you've had to do that at a very, very young age. You know what opposition looks like. And I'm sure at the beginning, it feels rather intimidating. They call you all these nasty names. You don't know how to deal with it. But then after a month, you're like, I don't care. After 6 months, how many times can you be called a racist? Who here has been called a racist because of being involved with Turning Point USA? Raise your hand. Look around. Is that not the most? It means nothing. It means nothing. You tell them, say, okay, what else you got for me? Bigot, xenophobe, sexist, misogynistic, colonialistic, transphobe. Just be like, look, I'm a patriot. I love this country. Your name calling means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. In fact, they have diluted and they have watered down those terms so much because they cannot engage in debate. They cannot talk about values. They cannot talk about reason, logic, history, principles, eternal wisdom. So they must resort to weaponized name calling. And as soon as you tell them, your name calling does nothing to me, it means nothing to me, I'm going to keep on growing. I'm going to keep on organizing. What are you going to do about it? And then sometimes they'll flip your table or throw something at you, because that's all that they have left, is that every day your existence as a Turning Point chapter leader weakens their stranglehold on this country. Our movement is ascendant. It is growing. It is multiplying by numbers. Recent polls show that young men are the most conservative they have been in 50 years. 50 years. And that's right. And young ladies, we're making some progress. We just had our Young Women's Leadership Summit, 1,500 young women. It was amazing. They are 4 points less liberal than they were a couple years ago. Gen Z is on pace to be the most conservative younger generation since 1988. That is Gen Z, everybody. And you are playing a huge role. You play a bigger role than you even realize, because for every single one of you, there are a couple thousand students that wish they could speak out like you do. And courage is a choice. It takes no skill to be courageous. You might come up to the microphone and say, Charlie, I don't know my talent, I don't know my skill. The cool thing about being courageous is you just have to say, I choose to be courageous. That's it. And every one of you have already made a step in that direction by being a Turning Point chapter leader. We are on the edge of making Gen Z historically conservative, and they never thought this would happen. They thought that the environmental death cult and the trans nonsense and the BLM crap was going to turn Gen Z into the most liberal generation ever. Instead, Turning Point USA and your leadership, organizing every single day, is pushing back against those lies, painting a different picture, saying, you know what? I want you to be able to own a home, get married, have children, and live in a decent country, and not have to live under this nonsense that they've been doing in this country.